part where they run down the stairs is hilarious. Steve always wins. I can never beat them down the stairs. But I have to put leashes on them, so that takes a little time. 68 refreshing degrees. Who's ready to go out the door for some weather and more comfortable air by a long shot today? There it is. Cold air advection. It's a 1024 high. Well, it's 1022 in building into the Great Lakes. So yesterday, I think I misspoke a little when I said it was a fairly weak high. It's a fairly strong high. And look where the front is. The front has gone all the way down off the coast of Florida. And I've always said that is hurricane repellent. And sure enough, the forecast from the Hurricane Center has nudged the storm track east a little bit. And now it looks like Lee wants to make landfall not in New England. So I was pretty right, not 48 hours ago, not showing that Euro landfall on the Maine mid-coast. But yesterday there was a lot of consistency with the storm going within about 150 miles of Cape Cod on Saturday morning. Now it looks like more like 200 miles. And that little 50-mile difference is huge in the potential damage that's going to occur in New England. It's now just more of a run-of-the-mill powerhouse nor'easter. Now, our worst storms really are nor'easters that last days. This is not going to last days. The wind is going to ramp up during the day tomorrow. Let's show Chatham, Massachusetts. Nice day today. The clouds are going to thicken tomorrow. The wind picks up from the north and northeast as the storm will be expanding, and the storm force winds are expected to be around sunrise or so on Saturday morning. So yesterday it showed a wind gust to 90 in Chatham. Today a much more reasonable 65 to 70. And that is a huge difference when it comes to damage and storm surge potential. Yesterday the weather.us chart here had a minimum pressure of 982. Now it's more like 992. Those 10 millibars make a big difference. So you're in a little bit less of a tight gradient. So we can stand down a little bit. I was thinking about doing some major storm prep around here, you know, securing just about everything. And now I think I'm going to do just some minor storm prep around here in the Fore River area, Weymouth, and there's Quincy, and then Hull. It's a little stronger. You know, you get out there on the beaches of Hull, it's going to be more impactful than here. But even in Hull, I think our maximum wind gust is going to be in the order of 50 instead of 60. And again, that's a huge difference. But outer Cape Cod, National Seashore, still could be looking at some potential damaging winds and big waves for sure, no doubt about that. Let's go to the same graphics I showed yesterday with these wind speeds. Remember, I showed the Euro with the 75 over Barnstable. Now it's more like 70 and getting even a little bit weaker. So the tendency has been for a less impactful storm than we were thinking yesterday. I said Wednesday, this is the day you have to make their decisions. Thursday's the day you got to really implement them. So I don't think you need to haul your boats around here. Make sure they're secure. Now, I think West Augusta, very vulnerable with a strong northeast wind. I think they've mandated that you got to get your boat off the dock. And you see all those white balls out there. Those are all moorings, and those are storm moorings. And so I think those are going to be occupied. All those. There's one boat right there. It's already on its storm mooring. On Cape Cod, on the south side of Cape Cod, I don't think it's going to be that urgent. North side of Cape Cod, I'd still consider hauling boats. The spaghetti plot's way out there now. Yesterday I was saying, well, you know, it looks like the storm on the Euro and the GFS looks closer than those spaghetti plots. And sure enough, those spaghetti plots were more accurate yesterday. So you never want to go against the National Hurricane Center. The National Hurricane Center now has the storm making landfall in Nova Scotia. But also warning that the storm is still going to wobble to the left. So essentially it is kind of following this front, but it's also developing its own upper level circulation. Yesterday I talked to Bob Copeland for quite a while. He was at MIT in the 50s studying meteorology. He said they used to try and come up with one number to plot what the hurricane was going to do. They looked at all the different layers from the surface all the way up to the top of the atmosphere, which is about 200 millibars, and tried to come up with a vector analysis of which way the storm would go. Kind of amazing that this storm is kind of taking over and making its own flow all the way up to 500 millibars, which is 18,000 feet. There it is in that circulation. But if then you go all the way up to 200 millibars, you can't even see a reflection of it, and the wind is just kind of light from the south, almost southeast for a time during Saturday morning. So it's not a done deal yet, but it's a little less alarming than yesterday. And of course, the closer you get, the more confident you get. Today's a beautiful day. We have the dew point finally back down to the 50s. As Eric Fisher noted, it was a record lengthy streak of days with a dew point above 65. So even when this storm goes by, it's not going to have a lot of humidity with it. It's going to well, it's going to be saturated, but the temperature is going to be in the 50s and 60s. It's a cool storm as it goes from warm core to cold core. So it still is a formidable storm, but it's not going to rival that storm we had in October of 2021. It'll be probably less memorable. As Michael Page said a couple of days ago when we were talking, he goes, this is probably not going to be one that people go back and say, oh yeah, I remember Lee. But then guess what? We get to do it again. Nigel is forming out there, and that wants to follow almost the same exact track as Lee and be a headache for us for the next week and a half, 2 weeks into next weekend. Yesterday was a fascinating day. There were 3 tornado warnings, none of them verified, thankfully, but there was quite a bit of rain, more flooding. Oh yeah, let's go check my rain gauge. Yeah, T-Rex, we're going back in a second. And we went off on the harbor, a tornado warning off to our left, off to our port side, and we made it into the garden without getting completely soaked. And we picked up another inch of rain and a little spillover, so probably about 1.03. So that gets me over 3 inches since September 1st. And that's been the story of our year. And a lot of times, I mentioned a bunch of times, you know, you're worrying about a hurricane, but all the stuff that happens before it gets there is really the headline news. Not a done deal. I hear Joe Bastardi's coming to town. May try and chase him down in Cape Cod tomorrow. Not sure what door I'm going to be coming out, but there'll be more out the door, weather and more. Here's what happened yesterday. Oh wait, first, Mitt is totally into what we're doing now. Just the same thing every day. He wants out the door, weather and more. Mitto, and he's very good at hiding where I can't grab him. Mitt, they love you too. All right, talk to you. Here's the yesterday. 11 a.m. I'm talking about the hurricane, but we've already got flash flooding happening again today. Now it's only Wednesday. A wall of clouds coming at us. It's been beautiful this morning. And I hear there's been an order to evacuate the docks at Wessagusset. So I have a feeling that this anchorage right here is in preparation for Lee. We have so much to do before that, like survive today and the possible severe weather and flash flooding. It was so gorgeous for a while. Weather overload continues. It's been like this for months and months. Another day, some more flash flooding. Rain just arrived here in Weymouth at Bert's Boatyard, where the ramp is quiet right now. I think it has to do with low tide and the fact that, remember that dock we saw getting towed to be replacing an old dock? Well, that old dock has been pulled up here and is kind of sitting right in the way of pulling boats. How inconvenient. Boy, does it smell. It takes a lot of muscles to make this much smell and to move this much dock. Sun's coming back out and we're spinning. We had one round, brought about 1/3 of an inch, about 1, 2 o'clock. And now another round. This one has a tornado-warned cell over Rhode Island, kind of headed right for us. And we're supposed to get on the ferry to go to Boston to see the Eagles. Should be interesting. You count what happened first thing this morning in Connecticut, where there's another round behind this one. That's 3 rounds today. Did not think we'd get 3 rounds of storms. 2023 being 2023. There is indoor seating on that thing too. The cell is sliding north-northeast, so we'll probably arrive right when we're getting off the boat. A 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. Hey Michael, I didn't realize how low the water could go off of your parents' house right there. Is that rocks and mud right there, or is it an optical illusion? Oh yeah, by the way, we're sailing into a tornado warning. No, we're sailing away from a tornado warning. Yeah, that's right, away. There's our house, almost. Very low tide. How's the fishing? What are you working? Overtime?
Guys, flying right over a tornado. Tornado warning to our south right this minute. Whereabouts? Like headed for Braintree. I can show you.
So as usual, I'm just talking to people like, is this gonna be on the TV? And I'm like, no, it's gonna be on YouTube, because that's where I am now. What's your name? Where are you from?
Mike Goyette, Hingham.
Hingham.
Michelle LaGreca from Kingston.
All right. I love this. Yeah. So it's called Out the Door Weather and More. And what are you doing tonight?
We're going to a concert.
Don Henley?
No, Goose.
Goose.
Yeah.
What's that?
Good band.
All right.
Great band.
Where's that? The harbor?
Pavilion.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We're going to the garden. We're going to see the Eagles. So anyhow, how's the weather treating you so far today?
Very good. Love it. Follow me.
All right. We'll see you on YouTube.
Thank you.
Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston. The wind is moving from east to west right here, right now. Beautiful night in Boston. So funny, I used to say I don't forecast for people with umbrellas. But it's definitely umbrella weather. Some of them are going inside out and upside down. I don't know what group that is, but they look like they're having fun.
Don't grab my phone because I don't keep it out.
Kind of a hit. We get a lot of requests for it. It's going to be sung for you by the Danettes.
songs as possible into the set code. To the limit, one more time.
1974, the first number one. Close to 49 years.
Holding you close in my dreams, thinking about all the things that we said, and coming apart at the seams. We try to talk it over, but the words come out too good.
I will do it, Joe! I'm doing pretty good, man. Saving you.
21st century. I'm getting used to that still. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I'm in my 70s.
Yeah, you are.
And there's no 70s for dummies at the bookstore. I don't know what to do. I just like pretend I know what I'm doing, and everybody thinks I know what I'm doing. Same thing I always did. But now it's time to get serious. Are you ready to get serious? Oh! Make it look good.